Hey guys, it's Dan with the Corporate Thief Beats. Got a new video for you today and a blog post. Last time I spoke about 5 YouTube channels that will help you with your marketing. So if you haven't already checked that post out, definitely check it out because there's some great YouTube channels there that will help you with your promotion, your music promotion online. And there's some of my go-to sources for music marketing information, or how to use some tools online to promote my music and my website. Today I've got something a little different. As you can see from your screen, I'm in the middle of my pre-launch to my instrumental mixtape, Greed is Good. Last time I gave you a snippet. I'm going to give you one in a sec to another track on that mixtape, but the name of the article today and what it can do to help you was when I was using some gigs on Fiverr. I thought it'd be great if I just catalogued all these gigs that I've just after buying to help me with my pre-launch for the mixtape, to share them with someone who doesn't know where to start with their mixtape promotion. Now this all goes into after you've got a product like a mixtape. So this is not the creation process. This is pre-launch and launch ideas using gigs on Fiverr. Trying to be careful with your budget, and obviously you still have to use some traditional marketing kind of ideas like AdWords or Facebook and some or coast to coast mixtapes. I just purchased a promotional pack from them, and I'll discuss that in a later video and the success that I get with that. But today I'm just showing you some gigs that I used to help me create some of the stuff that you actually see on your screen. I can go through some of this now. One of the main points I need you to understand is don't go for the typical kind of gigs that are on Fiverr. As you can see from the image, there's a big Daft Piff 1 billion views for $5. Obviously you know that these are fake streams and created by bots and software. Don't do that because you're just wasting your time. So you're not getting any fans, and it's never going to be a benefit to you. You might think that you've got a lot of views, a lot of fans, but you actually got nothing in return for it. So stay away from those kind of gigs. I'm also going to get into stuff like graphic design, which is huge on social media and stuff like that, and finding gigs on Fiverr that can get really cool graphic designers to make like cool like images like I have in the background, get you to make mixtape covers, branding. And I'm also going to cover some getting blogs. There's tons of hip-hop and rap blogs on Fiverr, and it's quick and easy to get your music up there. I'm also going to talk about a little bit about mixtape distribution. There's a couple of gigs on there that do small amounts of mixtape distribution. Press releases are not targeted, but they do get your word out to the mainstream media, and hopefully someone can pick them up. I'm going to go into each of them individually in just a second. Right now I'm going to give you a quick snippet of the next track that's going to be on the instrumental mixtape. Just want you to check it out. It's only a couple of seconds long, and then I'm going to get back into the video. So just take a listen to this track called Anacott Steel. you like that track, and that's going to be the third track on the mixtape. More information is where you can see the arrow pointed on my site, and so go and check it out there. It's going to be launching on the May the 5th of 2014. Let's get back to the blog post. As I was saying just before I showed you that track, that don't go and buy the crappy downloads and comments and likes on Fiverr. They're just no good. They don't do anything for you, so just stay away from them. Pre-launch is all about developing your brand and creating a buzz, not hype. Hype is a different word, I think, and I think it has somewhat of a negative kind of a view, whereas buzz is more of is creating awareness. So I think that's what one of the biggest things that you can do when you use some of these gigs on here is try and find some way to create buzz. And just before I get into all of these gigs, I just have to stress that all the top mixtape sites like Audio Mac, Hot New Hip Hop, DatPiff, they all give you your own mixtape player. They also don't be sending all of your hard-earned fans to these sites that you don't own, because you can't control any of these sites. You can't control anything on them, and you don't know if anything you paid to promote your mixtape actually worked or didn't work. If you set them up on your own website using the embed codes that Hot New Hip Hop or DatPiff give you and the download links, you can track where people are coming from. If they're coming from Twitter, spend more time on Twitter. If they're coming on, it's all important to track where your stuff is coming from. You can use Stat Counter or Google Analytics on your own website. If you haven't built your own site yet, there's a 15-minute tutorial there showing you how to get a WordPress site up to date and done. It's really easy. You don't have to be really super technical in it. All it is a lot of it is copy and paste. And the hardest thing I think about building a website is keep creating content. That's the only thing that I think is hard about building websites, is constantly creating content. If you need that tutorial, the link is there. Also, I think having an email list and a newsletter system. Obviously, you probably subscribe to my email list, my email newsletter, and I think it's vital that you have your own email newsletter. If you don't know what it is, check out the tutorial in this link. It will show you how I use Aweber for my site. Just a disclaimer before I go on with the gigs. I don't know any of these people on here. I've just purchased a couple of them to help me with my pre-launch and my launch of my mixtape. I don't know any of them, so always check the comments, the date of the last customer, check the feedback. Obviously, in time, these gigs will change, so some people mightn't be offering these gigs anymore. Always read the description and find out what you're actually getting and what you so you can get your money's worth. Always read the description, always check out the feedback. From the gigs that I've purchased, I've had great experiences with all these people, so I hope they continue to do good jobs. Getting into the very first topic, a graphic designer. It's very easy to see here from my website that you can see the background is done with the header, and I've really kind of used the virtual real estate within my own website. If you ever go to sites like DatPiff or Hot New Hip Hop, they kind of pimp the crap out of these sites to help with the mixtape launch, like with Wiz Khalifa. If you go to Cabin Fever 2 on DatPiff, you'll see this site, all the background on this page is all pimped out with Cabin Fever, and download Cabin Fever 2. If you go to any of these sites with big rappers, they really use a lot of the virtual real estate to show that there's a promotion on, and that's all good to build brand and build awareness. I just show you some of my channels, and you can do this too. You can change these banners on the top of your social media sites anytime, So when you have a launch, make sure it's in the header, make sure it's in the sidebars and stuff like that. Really use this virtual real estate, because it can be just promoting by just chatting to people on Twitter. Let's say if I'm talking to someone on Twitter now, they can see the back of my Twitter profile and they can see my launch, and I'm not going to spam anyone. All I'm doing is talking to the people online, or following new people, and they're seeing my banner, they're seeing my logo. It's all about that kind of branding awareness. So definitely check out the graphic design gigs on Fiverr. As I said before, there's a Pinterest board here, right here. If you just click on that link, it will take you to the graphic designers that I've used. Some of these guys are really good, and they can make, and it's only $5. This banner that I've made, or that guy, one of those guys made for me, was $5. That banner up there was another $5. So you see how easy. I spent $10, and now I'm creating a brand, and I hope those guys do a good job for you. If you looked before, it's called Mixtape Cover King. I'll actually leave a link down here if you want to check him out, but he's not as he won't do mixtapes for $5. If you're really broke, and if you're not if you don't have that much to budget with, there's some great gigs here. I've checked out on Fiverr, so you can get all those mixtape covers. Make sure you check the description, what they can do. Make sure you know what you're offered. Some people kind of will only give you the PSD, that's the Photoshop file, for an extra $20. So make sure you know what you're getting. Some people only charge $5 for the front. Some people charge $5 for the front and back. So really just look at examples of their work and ask, can they help you? And I would advise you to record some audio or record a video, like a screencast like I'm doing right now, and tell them exactly what you want and send them to them, because that's the best way you're going to get what you actually need. So again, if you want to see those mixtape cover designers, here they are. Just click on the Pinterest board. I have it all displayed nicely for everyone in each of these gigs, just because I don't want 10-20 links. There, I think it is, and there's some of the mixtape cover designers. So moving on, building buzz with rap blogs. This is a little gem that I found. Okay, obviously I have my big list of rap blogs and their information that I've just gathered on my own, doing my own networking and my own blog list building. But the submission process with free blogs takes too long. There's too many people competing with it, and it's just it's not the best way to rely on. You'd really want to be promoting your mixtape like 2 months in hand before you start submitting blogs. Doing it 2 weeks before your mixtape is just too late. Most people get hundreds of emails a day, and they don't get enough time to see everything. So I have found like tons of great rap blogs on Fiverr. They're not the biggest blogs in the world, but they're still blogs that will post your music today for $5. And it's just getting, even if you just get a couple of people to come to your site, it's probably worth it, or to download your mixtape, because it's only $5. The best thing about these blogs is that they have their own audience. They mightn't have a lot of people, but they have their own, and plus they will help you promote your music on their social media channels, which tend to be pretty large. Like a lot of those hip hop blogs have tens, 20,000, 30,000 followers, and they will tweet that article where your music is posted. Just things to remember. Quality recording is vital. If you're recording on an iPhone or something like that, that's not good enough. Get some audacity and record it on a good microphone. Really has to be good quality. Doesn't have to be the best song in the world, as long as it's recorded properly and edited right. People will post it. I don't think most of them judge whether a song is good or not. They really judge on the quality of the recording. And with my sites and High Track and stuff like that, I will not post any song that has a bad recording. So if you don't have a good recording, make sure you get a good microphone and you have Audacity. Audacity is free, guys. A good microphone. You can get a good microphone secondhand on eBay. I have a link there on my site talking about microphones. I'll actually put that into the post. You really need a good recording. Won't stress that enough. But there are many benefits to getting on these rap blogs. Okay, you're using someone else's reputation to back you. You're essentially building an audience from the influence of other blog site owners. You're creating some links. If you don't know about this, like search engine optimization, you don't really need to know, but the more links that come to your YouTube videos, your SoundCloud player, etc., your website, the more links that they get from blogs to good blogs to those players, the better Google will send people to those to your song and stuff like that. That's not the best explanation, but I don't want to get too technical. The more your SoundCloud or your YouTube player is embedded on these sites, the better it will do in organic search. Basically, that's a better way to explain it. So you're creating backlinks for your videos. Also, you're creating awareness of who you are, and you're getting your mixtape on an audience with that is interested in hip hop music. You're not just posting it on a random music site. You're posting it on a hip hop blog, and you're building a relationship with that blog owner. My favorite reason for paying these $5 for all these blogs is that there's just no waiting around. You pay the $5 and your post is up tomorrow, and that's what I really like about it. They're not the biggest blogs in the world. Some of them have more traffic than others. Some of them don't have a lot, but I think for $5, it's definitely worth the money. And it's just edits a lot of hassle. For me, it's just getting stuff out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be out there. I think so. Also, these blogs will tweet that post and more often than not tag your Twitter name in that post. So you're potentially getting the reach of their Twitter following as well. Some blogs might actually charge extra for that. So just again, check the description on each of these Fiverr gigs. As I said before, all these blogs are on this Pinterest board here. Just click the C on Pinterest, and here's some of the blogs that I've used, and it's a great way to start promoting your music for low cost. Also, I forgot to mention that I think it's a really cool idea as well that if people are googling if people Google your name, they like labels, A&Rs, just fans in general, or other big blog owners Google your name and they see a bunch of small blogs blogging about you, it's much easier to get attention from them, and plus it makes you look way better in terms of your marketing, that they know that they can trust you, that you can get your brand out there. That's really, really important. So just because the reach of some of these blogs might be a little bit smaller than you hoped, think about it in the long run, that your name is on these blogs and you're getting in front of at least a targeted hip hop audience, and you're getting the reach of that blog owner as well and their Twitter profile. They're really good things to think of. I'll move on. Press releases is kind of similar to the blog coverage like I just mentioned, but it's not hyper targeted. It's just really just firing it out to these press release sites in the hope that one of the major news sites like Yahoo News or Google News or any of those kind of big news sites will pick it up. More often than not, it mightn't happen, but you never know. You're not in. If you don't buy a ticket, you're not in. And some of the press release sites that you can do not on Fiverr are really, really expensive, like $400, $500. But there's marketing companies on Fiverr that have accounts and they will do it for you. That's what I've done before, and I really, really liked the reception that I got from them. Obviously, the more press releases you put out, the better you do. And I got a couple of them, and I was really like, for like 10, $15, I got a lot of people coming to my site, and I got a lot of links back to my website because of it. It's not hyper targeted. That's one thing I don't like about it, but it is getting your music out there, and plus some of the smaller news sites will pick it up, and you should get at least your money's worth from it. I think it's a steal at the end of the day. And actually, the person that does, I think her name, D SEO girl, yeah, she does a really good job, a really, really good job in firing out your press release. Just make sure that you write a good description of who you are. You've got a photo of who you are, a link to your website, and a link to where they can download your mixtape. If I'm not sure now, but maybe just make sure that the actual link that you put in the press release is to the mixtape, but make sure it's on your own website. If you send it to DaftPay, you'll never know if this gig was even worth it. So it's vital that you use your own website. But press releases are a good idea to try out, and for $5, $10, definitely worth the money, I think. Okay, next one is mixtape distribution. There's not a lot of gigs on Fiverr that do this, but I did find like a couple of gigs, and there is a couple of people that will submit your music to blogs for you. And I don't really treat it as mixtape distribution. I treat it more as like personal VA. They're doing it for you. They're taking time out of your day, and they're doubling your efforts for that day. The main reason I included this gig is it saves you so much time. Having to go through all those submission forms on these mixtape sites is just incredibly tedious. Just be careful in what these gigs say. These ones that I actually picked up are okay. They do what they say, but it's not mixtape promotion. Just because they upload your mixtape to a mixtape site that you don't know, don't think that they're going to promote it on that site. You might only get a couple of views, you might get a lot, you never know. But it's not mixtape promotion, it's just distribution. Because I've heard a couple of people giving out about the gigs thinking like that it was mixtape promotion, but it's actually just they either put up the mixtape or they just submit the mixtape. So make sure you read that description. As I said before, it's basically like having a virtual assistant to help you promote your music on these sites. For $5, just get someone else to do it. It doubles your effort for the day, and you got someone helping you promote your mixtape or helping you with the mixtape launch. The fifth one I was talking about is DJ drops. It's not essential to your mixtape, but I think if you're going to go and with the whole branding issue or the whole branding thing, definitely try and check out some of the DJ drops on Fiverr, because there's some really good ones there. That one there is really good. That guy looks good. Donald Jr. I remember him on his video on Fiverr. My DJ drop, as you heard in the in the preview to the Anacott Steel track from my mixtape, where it says thecorporatethiefbeats.com, was actually done by Knockhouse. I think I bought it like 2 years ago for like $20, but I don't think that people were doing DJ drops on Fiverr at the time, and now there's a lot of gigs on there that are doing it. Make sure you're clear what you want. Some of these kind of DJs kind of go cracked with effects and stuff like that. So make sure you're clear on what you actually want in your DJ drop. It does make your mixtape sound professional. It does make it sound like it's an industry mixtape, but you don't want them going crazy in the drop either. So stress what you actually want in it and try and be a little bit practical in it. Let people know when your mixtape is dropping, or let them know where they can get it, what site they can get it on. First thing it said on all of my tracks on my mixtape is thecorporatethiefbeats.com, so they know to come here and I know how to track it. And I just think that's the best advice out of all this that I could give you here. Again, there's a board there with those gigs on there, and you can see what these Fiverr DJs offer in their DJ drops. And this is the final part of the blog, and I'm going to wrap it up soon. There's other kind of things you could test. You could test radio stations and podcasts mentions. Okay, in my experience, I've tried this before, and it's very difficult to track where people are coming from on these stations. I've seen some like massive spikes in traffic, but you never know if it actually came from that radio spot or not. It's just some of them have, I put it up and I've got nothing. I've never, it's like just $5 went up in smoke. I know it's only $5, but it would have been nice to see some return from some of them. Just even a couple of people, maybe just sending them to a special landing page. Maybe I could have targeted it better, but I found it very hit and miss with these kind of paying for radio station spots. It could be an idea. I think it's something you could test. Don't all take my word for it. Some people will swear by it and say it's way more effective. That's maybe I'm a little bit playing more safe with the blog submissions. I know where I'm getting with a blog, but maybe there's way more reach with the radio spot. It's up to you. Check it out though. There's some really good virtual assistant gigs on Fiverr, and I've highlighted a couple of them in here, where you can just hire someone for like a couple of hours for $5. You can probably get someone for an hour for $5, and maybe get them to submit your music to all these mixtape sites, or get them to upload them to YouTube or something like that. You could get them to do a bunch of stuff. You could also get them to write articles and biographies for your press releases. There's a numerous things. I think this is a great idea to get some virtual assistants. I think I actually should have wrote a little bit more on the virtual assistants on Fiverr, because there's so many of them out there looking for just a couple of jobs, just for and you're doubling your efforts for the day. So definitely, I think one thing that you should do is definitely hire an assistant, just for like the launch day anyway, and get it out to as many blogs, get it out, and get a couple of these virtual assistants to help you. Funny one you could try and hire a couple of singer-songwriters to do acoustic covers of your mixtape, and see what reach you could get with that. But that's a bit stretching with that one, guys. So if you want to get any of those gigs that I just mentioned there, check it out on that Pinterest post here. And all these posts are all these Pinterest gigs, Fiverr gigs, are in Pinterest boards underneath the blog posts on my site. And to wrap it up, Just remember to always check for feedback on any of these gigs. Stay away from the fake views and the fake downloads and the fake comments and the fake plays. Just stay away from them. They're a waste of money and you don't need them. Go out there and just get 50 or 100 fans on your own with the way I showed you already, using the blog submission, using the press releases, branding your website, branding your Facebook pages, all that kind of stuff. Don't be fooled by these bots and these fake view kind of counters. They're no good. I see loads of people buying them, but I just think they're just a complete waste of money. If they worked, I wouldn't be on here telling you that they don't. I've tested out some of them before, and they're just a waste of money. There's 15,000 plays on a mixtape, and no one's ever came to your site. No one's ever came to a video or anything like that. It's a waste of time. Also check out that link I put up there for the email list and how to create a website. Definitely take the music players from DatPiff or Hot New Hip Hop and put them on your website and put the download link underneath them, because you can track everything when it's on your website or your own blog. Don't send all your hard-earned fans to DatPiff or Hot New Hip Hop when you don't own those sites. You're just going to be bombarded by your fans are going to be bombarded by advertisements, and they're going to be bombarded by better artists and stronger artists like Rick Ross and Wiz Khalifa, who have massive advertisement banners on these sites to promote their projects. And if you're sending all your fans from Facebook or Twitter or from advertising to these sites, you're just crazy. You're just wasting a lot of money and you're wasting a lot of time, and you're never going to get the success that you desire. So definitely send them to your website and use the promotional tools that these sites give you on your own website. That's the best advice I can give you guys. I hope this blog post helps you. I thought it was a good idea, and I'm delighted I shared it with you. Don't forget to share with anyone that you think that might benefit from this blog post. Don't forget about the mixtape Greed is Good. It's out on the 1st of the 5th, 2014. And if you want more information, check out this new beat tape link on my site. Also, I'm going to play that Anacott Steel track again right now. So this is Corporate Thief, guys. Thanks for checking out the blog post, and I hope that it helps you out. See you in the next video.